following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Oh, we are live in the Wicked Weed studio. Be sure to check out our friends at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing, drink different, rolling down the best and worst case scenarios in the AFC North for 2021. Brings us to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers, I have said I have great reservations about this team. The offensive line change that they have gone through over this offseason is not going to play in their favor, I don't believe. I still believe in the weapons. I don't believe in Big Ben anymore. I just don't. The guy has admitted he lost gas at the end of last season, and he's trying to regain some old form here. It's the best case scenario for the Pittsburgh Steelers, eat fresh, refresh.
Apparently that's a Subway
That's right, it's the new Subway slogan. They're bringing back the Eat Fresh, and all the news in the last 24 hours about Pittsburgh Steelers has been about Ben Roethlisberger committing himself to a new diet, that he is eating he's on a stricter diet than Tom Brady now. I haven't seen any of the details on this diet, but I'm going to say you're lying. I get that Ben Roethlisberger, we saw him at OTAs, and he did look a little trimmer, but it's also like your, 45-year-old uncle who had a big old pot belly and is, I've been working out. Oh, okay. Well, you still look like you're 40.
I don't even want to get deep into this video before I do this. We just made a bet that I'm having to reset because this is going to be cut for Steelers fans. I'm taking the Ravens to win this division. He's taking the Browns.
Okay.
I will take the Steelers to beat the Browns.
Oh, I will
take the Steelers ahead of the Browns.
I am all the way in on that one.
Take two.
Because you are so wrong. Because I see a direct path where this is the third best team, and it's not even close in this division. I don't believe it. I don't believe that, Ben Roethlisberger has trimmed down. He looks like the Ben Roethlisberger from 2 years ago. Okay. I want to see it, though. I want to see him still have the confidence in his arm and everything, because one of the things that killed him last year was that they didn't push the ball down the field. And they were playing everything short, and it didn't work out in their favor. Their offensive line is worse. Yes, they got a new running back, but how much is that really going to help Ben Roethlisberger?
A lot.
You think so?
A lot. The difference between Najee Harris and James Conner is the difference. It was opined in the comment that the loser of our bet here should have to do a power hour on show.
What is that?
That would be the difference between Najee Harris and James Conner. I'm Najee Harris. You're James Conner.
What the hell's a power hour?
Power hour is where you have to take a shot of beer every minute for an hour. I told him in the comments, I would kill it and Tank would die.
Uh-huh.
Do you know how many beers that is?
No clue.
If you take an actual legitimate shot, if it's a gentleman's shot, it's 10 beers in an hour. And you don't get to stand up.
I can't drink 10 beers in a day.
You can't drink 10 beers in a week. I've watched you. You drank 4 and said hello to my floor. Right. Now, me, on the other hand, I can drink 10 beers.
Now, to be fair, there was a lot of tequila mixed in there with your wife.
100%. When it comes to tequila, my wife's the devil.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
And when a pretty lady says, "Hey, take a shot with me," you don't say no.
Bingo. Bingo, bango, bongo. Why do you think I'm so calibrated? I live with her.
Right.
She did that to me last night, not 4 minutes after I walked in the door.
Handed you a shot and said, "Look, we're drinking tonight."
Yeah, and her shots are not. They're not.
No.
Let's put it this way: she's not a friend of the house. I'll put it that way.
Right. That's the kind that you have to go like this before you can pick it up.
Yeah, that's why we do shots in rocks glasses. We don't use shot glasses.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't hang on that one.
Yeah, I know.
Trust me, done in 30 minutes.
There's a lot of opining happening in the comments. Edward 40 Hands has been brought up too. The only problem is that would only last for about 4 minutes with me, because I am very claustrophobic, and the thought of somebody duct taping something over my hands makes me want to run my head through a window. I would drink it just to get rid of the shit on my hands.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Pittsburgh Steelers are a team that I got a lot of questions about. Defense is still going to be really good. I get they lost Bud Dupree, but it's not like they took a complete dive on that end. But
I still like Alex Highsmith, and you got T.J. Watt, who I think is the best pass rusher in the NFL. The one thing that scares me about Pittsburgh, their schedule is brutal at times. I mean, brutal. But I think they're going to start 4-2. They'll be 4-2 coming out of the bye with a week to go into play your Cleveland bullshit Browns.
Yep.
Win. I'll take them to beat Cleveland twice.
Stop that.
I will. I'll take them to beat Cleveland twice. I think it's funny you don't realize how big of a difference there is between Ben Roethlisberger and Baker Mayfield. All right, let's play this game. We did it with the Ravens. We'll do it with the Steelers. The ancillary pieces of the Steelers versus the ancillary pieces for the Browns. Who wins?
Oh, I would go with the Browns.
Browns win O-line. Name me another position group they win. Receivers, they get slaughtered. It's not even close. I have 2 better than any receiver on your team. And my 3 is Deontay Johnson, who might be the 3rd that's better than any receiver on your team. I like Najee Harris better than I like Nick Chubb and better than I like Kareem Hunt. Now, the tandem and you win offensive line. Pass rush, I get T.J. Watt. I like him better than Myles Garrett. They're high on Alex Highsmith, and I got news for you. Everybody that's been on the opposite side of T.J. Watt has been successful. Weird how that happens. Devin Bush, you got one of those? Because I do. You don't.
Yeah.
Secondary, I get Minkah Fitzpatrick to your John Johnson. Yeah, I win. Your corners are better. That's it. That's it. And I have the better quarterback. The one fear is that I have the tougher schedule. That's it. Okay. That's the only difference in this. I've been in this fight so many times that I came into this very well armed.
He's ready and raring to go. I see them as very similar with their weapons. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster and Chase Claypool against Odell Beckham Jr., a healthy one, and Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, not even close.
I see a wash in that.
No, it's not even close to me. And you very conveniently left out Deontay Johnson to Rashard Higgins because they both play 3 wides. Yeah, I win that in a walk. I mean, that's good God. That's I don't even know how to quantify that. That's such a walk.
That's such a walk.
And by the way, at tight end, I get Eric Ebron and Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah,
I like that better than Austin Hooper. I didn't even acknowledge that.
I won't.
I will.
I won't. I'll take the Cleveland side of that one. Again, the offensive line, I like the running backs for Cleveland better than Najee Harris.
I love Najee Harris.
Okay, and then you can love Najee Harris, but to think that he's better than the tandem of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, I can do more with my backfield than you can do with yours.
Who's the most talented player of the 3 you just said?
Probably Kareem Hunt.
It's Najee Harris. And to me, it's not even debatable. One thing that scares me is the line he's running behind, but guess what? Pittsburgh finds a way to make this work all the time. We didn't know who the fuck Ali Villanueva was when he came into the league. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
This is one of those that's it's so laughably predictable to me that I'm going to mark this tape and week 15 when the Browns are 9-6, 9-7, and Pittsburgh's 10-5, and Baltimore's 12-4. I'm just going to, you remember that thing I tried to tell you of quarterback is the most important position in all of football? And I get Ben Roethlisberger and Lamar Jackson, and you take Baker Mayfield? Yeah, all the way in. All the way in. God, I'm going to love trolling Browns fans this year. Good God, I'm going to love trolling Browns fans.
You got to hope that the diet actually does work out for Ben Roethlisberger, but that leads us to the bad side. The worst case scenario, Father Time is undefeated. You have this is not like any other aging quarterback. Like not only do you have a 39-year-old quarterback, you also have a 39-year-old quarterback who looks like a long-haul trucker. And I get it. Oh, he's lost some pounds. Okay. I don't know if that's so much I can regain my youth rather than a guy in a midlife crisis trying to grasp desperately at his last chance for fame. What?
Did Ben Roethlisberger like do something to you in a past life or
No.
The out on him is comical to me.
I mean, did last year not say anything to you?
What, that he's 12-3?
The last few games of the season where he did not look good?
Well, here's the thing. He only, of the 4 games they lost, he only played 3 of them. Mason Rudolph played in the last one. He still threw 33 touchdowns and 10 interceptions last year. Oh, and by the way, the last full season he played, which was 2 years ago, he threw for 5,200 yards. Yeah, your derision on Ben is comically
every quarterback
just asinine as fuck.
Every quarterback has a shelf life, and if you're going to continue,
if you're going to tell me that 44-year-old Tom Brady is going to be is the no doubt Super Bowl, and 39-year-old Ben's just worthless and should be put out to pasture, that's insane to me. And it's speaking out of both sides of your mouth.
It's not talking out of both sides of my mouth. If you're going to continue to throw that up in my face, that my team has a 44-year-old quarterback, okay, mine doesn't look like he's 44. Mine doesn't play
Mine's
like
39.
he's 44. Yeah, yours is 39 and plays like he's 50.
And was 12-3 last year. By the way, had a better record than your 44-year-old quarterback last year in the regular season. So just throwing that out there.
And fell apart at the end of the year. Where am I wrong? I'm not saying he's a bag of dicks. I'm just saying.
No, you are. That's what's irritating me so bad.
Okay.
Is that you're all right, let me ask you a question. Right now, Baker Mayfield, Ben Roethlisberger. Who's better quarterback?
It's Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay. I just want to make sure you weren't completely out of
No, I'm not. I'm not completely out of my mind. But what I'm saying is he's not the guy that you can rely on anymore just blindly. Oh, that's Big Ben. It's going to be fine. Okay, you had us through 11 games last year, and then you had the collapse at the end of the year. You looked bad. You have you're trying to, as we said, refresh yourself with this new diet, hoping that you can get something done, because you're going to have to be as mobile as you were earlier in your career, because your line is not going to be up to snuff to me.
Let me ask you a question. How many teams last year averaged less than 4 yards a carry?
Oh, no, I don't know.
It's 4.
Okay.
The Dolphins, the Chargers, the Falcons, and the Steelers, who were at 3.5. They're the worst rushing team in the NFL. He got no help whatsoever. None. And you don't realize that Najee Harris is going to make that better. James Conner, who I don't think belongs in the NFL, and I've said that for 2 or 3 years now. You don't think that's going to make this better?
I don't think he can do it by himself.
He did it last year. They went 12-3 with nothing.
No, I'm talking about Najee Harris. I don't think he can do that by himself. He has to have competent blockers in front of him. And I don't know that they have that in Pittsburgh.
I don't understand what you're saying here. You don't think he can be a bell cow running back?
No, I'm saying his offensive line is not good enough to make their running game stellar compared to what it was last year. You can have all the talent you want. If you don't have holes to run through, it's not really going to help you.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Earlier in this full program, I said the Baltimore Ravens were the best run franchise in the NFL. Steelers are in the top 4. They seem to believe just fine in this offensive line.
Sure.
They let a lot of guys walk out the door. Didn't seem to bother them to drop. Didn't use draft capital on it in large part. They brought in Kendrick Greene, who I like a lot. I'm not worried about it. Adam Black said, and Ben can't throw, put 11 in the box and they're done. Good luck with that. I hope to God teams do that. I hope you put 8 in the box and dare me to throw it to Juju Smith-Schuster, Deontay Johnson, and Chase Claypool. Because I have 3 guys that can beat you over the top. And I have 2 really good tight ends. I got weapons out the ass. All the line has to be is half-assed. That's all they have to
But
be.
is that not what happened last year?
When they went 12-3? No, teams figured out they couldn't run a greasy peg up a cat's ass. And so they started dropping guys going, you cannot run against us. Oh, and by the way, if you look at the statistics of this, the last 4 games of the season were some of the best running they did. They just didn't do much of it. because teams were dropping 8 against them. Like, you can't beat us. James Conner sucks. And now you fix that in terms of the running back. You fix the defense is still good. You and I have talked about how I never bought into Bud Dupree, so the pass rush is still going to be good in my opinion. It's just, God, I can't wait for the season to start. This is the division that I think you're the most out to lunch on, and it's not even close. It's funny to me because you have not refuted one thing that I have said. Not one. That both of these teams are better than Cleveland in the ancillary pieces, which is what everybody is just jerking themselves off about. And my 2 quarterbacks are light years ahead of yours. You have not refuted one thing that I have said, and yet it's this blind faith. And they play the toughest of the 3 schedules, which is just, it's shocking to me.
I think I have refuted several things that you've said.
Name it. Name the position group for the Pittsburgh Steelers that I just named that's not better than Cleveland. If you say receivers again, I'm going to yell at you because it's just stupid as fuck.
It's running backs. I just said that.
Okay, and I ceded that one to you.
Okay.
Running back, offensive line, cornerback. That's it. I have everything else. Everything.
All the defense.
I would rather have Pittsburgh's defense than Cleveland.
Against my pass rush.
I have T.J. Watt. You don't have a T.J. Watt.
I have Myles Garrett.
And he's 3 or 4 best pass rusher in the league. I have the best pass rusher in the league. And I have another guy on the other side that I'm curious to even know if you know what his fucking name is, that they let Bud Dupree walk out the door and they told him, we're not even going to give you an offer. They didn't give, it's not even they didn't give it a competitive offer. They didn't give an offer. He was the only franchise player from 2019 or from 2020 to 2021 that didn't even get an offer. They didn't offer him $8 to come back. There's a reason, because they believe in the kid on the other side.
Okay.
I'm just, this is one that, you know, we'll put a pin in it.
Sure.
And trust me, I will very happily, when Cleveland sucks ass, I will. Sucks ass. And I shouldn't even put it that way because I don't think they're going to be terrible. I'm just, I'm going to have to see you actually beat a legitimate team. Like I said, they had 3 wins last year against teams with winning records. One of them was this team with Mason Rudolph playing quarterback. So you really had 2.
And also made your quarterback look incredibly inefficient and ineffective in the playoffs.
Okay, so let's talk about that playoff game where he had a snap that was launched over his head on the first play of the game. You're down 7-0 before you've taken a snap that touched the quarterback's hand. And then they just ran the ball down your throat. Yeah, they were.
How many interceptions in that game?
Ben?
4 of them?
It was a few.
Was it 4 interceptions he threw in the playoff game?
Also couldn't run. You had no ability to run, and you were behind the entire game.
Yeah.
That game script could not have been worse.
Now you have a superstar running back behind a line that is unproven. There is a real path where that does not work.
Worst case scenario, what is Pittsburgh's record? I want you to put your money where your mouth is, because you've talked shit about them for 10 minutes. So let's hear the number. Because I think you're going to say a number that's going to make me laugh until I piss in my pants.
Their worst case scenario on their record.
Yep. And I've already said I think the schedule's tough.
I'm going to say 8.
That's not the number I thought you were going to say.
8 and 8? Or 8 and 9? Keep forgetting that 17th game.
I'm looking at games that I don't see a path that they lose. And I'm at 8.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario there. I thought you were going to say 5.
No. I don't think this is that bad.
A couple people have said 5 in the comments, and that's insane.
No, it's not 5. Stop that. What I'm saying is I think people are putting too much faith in this, last year was an aberration. No, I think last year was a window into the future.
Last year they were 12-3 in games that Ben started in the regular season.
I know. We all know. We all saw them go 11-0 to start out the season, and then they lost. What was that? 4 out of the last 5? 5 out of the last 6?
It was 4 of the last 5, but one of them was Mason Rudolph.
Yes, I understand that. I don't know. To me, this whole Ben looks like he's in the best shape of his life. It could be true, sure, but I just don't trust the shoulder, and I don't trust.
I got to say this just because I think it's comically.
What?
It's comical to me that you glean over this.
Yeah.
4 of those 5 games. All right, they lost to Washington, at Buffalo, at Cleveland, at Cincinnati. First of all, 3 of the 4 were on the road. Would you care to take a guess at how many yards rushing the leading rusher had in 3 of those 4 games?
Tell me.
One of them was 37, and that was the second best they had. It was 18 and 15. That was the leading rusher on the team. Had 18 fucking yards. That's pathetically bad.
It is.
And you don't think that's going to get better. And you don't think that played into exactly why the season went as poorly as it did. I love how Ben's treated like he's 60 years old. And yet, guys like Drew Brees, who, by the way, had the same injury history that Ben did, he just didn't miss full parts of seasons the way Ben did. Oh, no, Drew's fine. That's fine. We can have a 44-year-old quarterback. That's fine. He's in the best shape of his life. Well, so's Ben. So's Ben.
That's not even, I don't even think that's kind of true.
Every person that's around him has said that.
Well, sure. But I have photographic evidence of him looking a little trimmer, but he's not best shape of his life.
Ben's always been a little pudgy, just so you know. He was pudgy at 24 years old.
I understand that. But a little pudgy looks a whole lot different on a 23-year-old kid than it does on a 39-year-old man. Let me tell you a little something about turning 38, if you'd like to hear that story. Your body doesn't react to things the same way it does.
Agreed.
When you're younger.
Agreed.
Right.
You can't tell me anything about how Ben's body reacts. He's one of the best athletes in the world. And I just think it's funny, like all of a sudden the end of the year goes poorly because he was asked to do just ridiculous shit because they couldn't run. And all of a sudden that's Ben's fault. I cannot for the life of me understand, and there's Steelers fans that believe this. They believe, oh, we should have moved on, and Dwayne Haskins or Mason. Stop talking. If you're one of those people, talk less. Just straight up. Adam Black said Brees fell off the cliff. When did that happen? Because it's not true. That's just patently not true. Now, the stats might have gone down because he had, Alvin Kamara behind him, just the best running back he had in his entire career. So, no, he didn't throw for 5,000 yards anymore. He wasn't asked to.
Right. There was no cliff, but there was a steady decline in the arm.
And I'm not saying there's not going to be a steady decline for Ben. We've seen it. See, this is the steady decline people think is going to happen. He was 11-0 a year ago with no running game. None. Worst in the league by a wide girth. And you think having the best rookie running back I've seen in 3 years is not going to help that? Doesn't make any sense to me. It's just, I don't get it. But put a pin in it. Just remember I said it.
We will.
I keep getting told I'm drunk in the comments.
You are.
Okay.